live streaming for the world to see and hear. Okay, so my friend, here we are with another conversation. Um, I notice you're on mute now. I don't know if you've done that intentionally or not, but
Can you hear me
just
now?
letting you know. Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah. Okay, so let's hit this off with basically a short piece of um, explanation about what you are wanting to do now, what are you wanting to address, what are you wanting to say, in addition to last night's conversations where we made 3 videos about. It was sort of like sovereignty, wasn't it? I feel that it was based on, you know, um, how much does Julian kind of acknowledge sovereignty, his own sovereignty, and that sort of thing. Because you felt that that could make a difference between him being freed and him staying in jail. Um, so you went on to describe a bit of information about doing an affidavit, um, you know, declaration, change of names, and so on. Oh goodness me, I need to plug this in.
Yep.
All right, so okay, yeah, fire away, fire away.
The question is, why is Julian his best enemy?
Okay, your question is
I have some
why?
answers, but
Excuse me.
let me
So
repeat
okay,
that.
yeah.
Why is Julian his best enemy?
So your question is why is Julian his best enemy?
Yeah,
So
well, it
do
doesn't
you
look
do you
much like he has.
do you mean do you are you saying, are you asking why is Julian? No, no, no. Are you explaining why you believe Julian is his own worst enemy? Is that what you mean?
Exactly, exactly. So his best enemy, his worst enemy. There's a difference.
Hmm. Okay,
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 the answer is
okay.
if you are a citizen of a citizenship, I believe that's the right answer. So why is Julian his worst enemy? Well, because he's a citizen of a citizenship. Now I can say citizen of a citizenship 10 times and give you 30 seconds to have your own thoughts about that. What is a citizen of a citizenship? Well, it doesn't take much English to understand that a ship is in the citizenship. So if you want to be a ship in the citizenship, then go with that. But nobody ever asks these kind of questions. What is a citizen in a citizenship? What's the ship got to do with anything?
What? Yeah. What's a ship got to do with Julian being his own best enemy or worst enemy? Did he
Yeah,
make a ship with holes?
Julian is ship.
Did he make a ship with holes in it? Did he make a ship with with leaks? A ship with leaks, WikiLeaks in his own ship, and then you know WikiLeaks' ship is leaking. Julian's ship is WikiLeaks in. No, okay. So you you know you're obviously interested in maritime law and how that works, how that applies, how and you relating that to Julian's situation. Um, none of us know how much Julian understands about maritime law. He may know more than us. He may know more than you. We don't know for sure. Um,
Well, I believe that's just to start with. So if we start with the citizen of the citizenship, we can easily go away from this and start with Julian next, because Mr. Julian Assange is a ship. So if you still believe in citizenship, then do what Julian did and you'll be fine. You can rot in prison and you'll be fine, just like Julian does. He does a great job. I hope he's not gonna rot in prison, but from the looks of it, his legal team is doing a great job at keeping him in prison. Now, I want somebody to call me on Skype and contradict me. It is not so.
yeah, I appreciate your frustration because as an outsider, as like the majority of outsiders, you are unable to really know what's going on. You don't have contact with Julian. You're not getting first-hand information, and because you care about, Julian and his um, what's the word, his work. Um, you want to know more. You support his release, and you're frustrated. So let me ask you this then: did you watch the video with his dad?
No, because my broadband was not operational because
Right. Okay. So you never watched the video. All right. That was pretty interesting. Um, um, the guy who recorded it up on his YouTube channel. Um, you know, he he um, asked a few questions, and Julian's father kind of responded and gave his opinion, and it was interesting. I mean, what he was basically saying was his dad toward the end was that the British, court of law, the system, it is it's what's the word? It's in a bit of a state. It's impossible almost for the judge and for the court system to remain impartial due to they've got interests in some corporate entities that um, I can't quite remember now. I need to go back to it, but what he was saying is that the court has other interests. For example, Julian applied for bail. No, no, sorry. Julian did not apply for bail, right? At this time, and when his case was heard, um, like a pre-hearing, the judge, somebody mentioned in the court about Julian, one the possibility for him to be getting bail, um, and the judge basically answered that um, and said that no, Julian will not be getting bail because he has a tendency to abscond. Um, so what his father was saying is that his father was saying that actually, you know, um, the pre-hearing was not an application for bail. Bail, it had nothing to do with bail, but yet the judge like denied overruled, you know, the application before the process, and basically denied him whatever, just, you know, just kind of ruled that he's not entitled to bail. So anyway, I don't know if you follow that, but anyway, his dad basically was, you know, disappointed, and he pointed out some flaws in the British, you know, in the government, some contradictions, some conflict of interests, basically. And it was, yeah, it was quite interesting, you know, worth watching. Yeah. So anyway, and I just thought that, well, maybe you can what's the word? Yeah, make contact with his father. It seems like his father is he's somewhere down, you know, in London or in the UK, and yeah, and it seems like not impossible thing to get in contact with him. So I mean, for example, if you contact a guy on YouTube who 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 recorded his dad, who made the video, maybe you can get a bit more information and maybe make contact with his father that way. Maybe you can make contact with his father. Are you there? You're on mute. You are on mute. So I can, yeah, that's it.
Whoever is interested in this discussion, please call me and let's have a discussion. I mean, what do you have to lose? Nothing.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. I mean, you know.
The court, so anybody can call me Pamela, or I don't know who, just call me. It's a Skype. It's not the impossible dream.
Right.
I believe
Sure.
the corporate courts are in contempt of living man, and not we are in contempt of court. So the court is in contempt of us. But you just need to know how to say that, because if you don't know how to say that, they will not get it.
Did you hear what I tried to explain about the father explaining about the court conflict, the inability to be
Yeah, I heard
impartial?
everything. Yeah, what
Okay.
impartiality? If you had the corporation and you had persons in that corporation and you were making the laws, would you defend the corporation or would you defend who? Would you defend the persons of the corporation? So as long as you regard yourself as a person, then stick with their rights and benefits. And Julian is benefiting from prison right now. So don't tell me I didn't hear what you said.
No. I was asking whether you heard what I said, because the mute. I noticed you was on mute, and I just wondered whether you got that. But yeah. So excuse me. So yeah. Basically, the message that I kind of seemed to get from his dad was that um, the process, you know, the court process is something. Um, um, it's not running. It's not running the way that a common law court should run. Basically.
Oh, there you go. So under common law court, there is no loss, no harm, nor injury. End of story. Unless you're in a common law court, then you have to stick with benefits, rights, and whatnot of persons. So you have to stop considering yourself a person unless you want to redefine what a person is. And until you will do that, it's better just forget about even mentioning person. You can have your own natural person, well, that's fine, but it's your natural person.
All right. So the argument depends um, on the court being a common law court run the way that a common law court is supposed to be run. Okay, and if that is the case, then as long as Julian kind of declares himself, just a common man, then everything, should run smooth, and he's caused no harm, loss, injury. So according to a common law court, he should be free man. Um, I guess the argument is that that the court is not operating as it's not functioning. It's not. Um, it's influenced by you know um, other factors. You know, other than common law. So yeah, what can I say? You still there? No, cannot hear you. Mm. Right. Well, I'll. Okay, you come. Yep. Good. Very good. Well, yep. I will end the broadcast and see what happened there. Find out whether you got frustrated and decided to leave, or was there a technical issue? What happened? Peace.